Do you want to know how the most successful people in business really manage their time?
Well, today we're going to spill the beans and let you in on the secrets of time management that top entrepreneurs in the country swear by.
So, if you're constantly overwhelmed with work and don't have enough resources to get the job done,
or you're struggling to stay on top of your workload and you're getting to the end of the day and finding you still have a massive list of jobs to do, then keep watching.
Here's a fact: we all lead really stressful lives, and there is always at least one more thing that we need to do, one more task that we need to get done.
And when the pressure's on and time's running out, our automatic response is going to be, I must work harder and faster if I'm going to achieve this, or I need to get more resources if I'm going to hit that deadline.
But do we ever stop and think about how much of what we are doing actually makes a difference?
In the world we live in today, a world where everything travels at breakneck speed and there's no pauses and there's no let-ups, it's very easy not to take the time to stop and reflect and reevaluate what it is we're actually doing.
So we've put together this video to help you with your time management so you can spend more time doing what you enjoy.
If you want more tips and techniques on how to improve your communication and leadership skills, go and visit our website at curiouscommunicator.com and keep updated on our latest videos by subscribing to Curious Communicator TV. Just click on the subscribe button below this video.
Make sure you watch the whole of this video to get your free copy of our time management guide.
Have you ever heard of the Pareto Principle? Or, as it's more commonly known, the 80-20 rule?
Yeah, the Pareto Principle was a brainchild of an Italian economist called Vilfredo Pareto, who, whilst at university way back in the 19th century, observed that 80% of the land in Italy was owned by just 20% of the population.
If you fast forward a couple of hundred years, where his work was discovered by an American engineer called Joseph Juran, he began to apply the Pareto Principle to quality control issues, summarising that 80% of the problems were caused by 20% of the causes.
Since then, this 80-20 principle has been used in economics, sport and occupational health and safety, for example in risk assessments.
In fact, you can see the 80-20 principle in action all around us today. For example, the richest 20% on the planet own 80% of the world's wealth, and in the US, 20% of patients use 80% of the healthcare resources.
Now, this principle can be taken and used in almost any environment. For example, you wear 20% of the clothes in your wardrobe 80% of the time.
In his book, The 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss uses the Pareto Principle as a unique guide for personal productivity. This is a really excellent book and we highly recommend you get yourself a copy. In the book, Tim explores the idea that 80% of your results come from 20% of your output.
Just stand and think and imagine that for a second. 80% of your results coming from just 20% of your output. So that must also mean then that 80% of your output is achieving just 20% of your results. Now, if you're asking, can I apply the 80-20 principle to my life? Well, the simple answer is yes, you can.
The first thing that you need to do is acknowledge the existence of the 80-20 principle in all of your daily routines. If you can get into the right mindset in everything that you do, 80% of what you're doing is not making a difference, and 20% of what you're doing is responsible for 80% of the good results that you get in, then you're going to start to look for your own personal productivity in a completely different way.
Once you start to recognise the waste in your daily routines, at work or at home, you can start to take steps to reduce them. What could you do differently that would save you time? What could you stop doing altogether that would make absolutely no difference to your life whatsoever?
The difference that this can make in your life is really easy to see when you understand why people do the things that they do. Once you start to look at your own personal productivity this way, you'll start to see so many opportunities to trim the fat and stop doing the things that make little or no difference at all.
Now, my moment of clarity happened a few years ago now. I had just taken on a new job as an area manager, responsible for a dozen or so senior managers and their teams. I wanted to keep them all really well informed, so I bombarded my teams with emails full of data and information that I felt they needed in order to do their jobs more effectively. I must have been sending about 20 or 30 emails a day. And one day, after speaking to one of my managers about some stats I'd sent in one of my emails, I realised he didn't have a clue what I was talking about. He'd not even read the email. The funny thing was, his team was still performing way above expectations. I realised then that I didn't need to send email after email for my team to deliver. I changed what I was doing the next day, and within a week I was sending just 1 or 2 emails a day to my team. Change made absolutely no difference to the results that my team were delivering, but it saved me about 3 hours a day. My productivity suddenly went through the roof. Instead of wasting my time with the things I thought I should do or had better do or thought I was supposed to do, I only did the things I absolutely needed to do. And this left me with plenty of time to do all the things I wanted to do. I realised that not being productive was costing me the most important thing of all, time.
Now, the 80-20 principle on its own is fantastic for raising your awareness of how effective you're using your own personal time in your own personal productivity. But we found another time-saving technique that when used together with the 80-20 principle, we've been able to save ourselves and the people we work with so much time, and it's working brilliantly for us and them right now.
This great technique we use helps put the 80-20 rule at the forefront of everything we do. And we call it the 3 Ds. The 3 Ds are delete, delegate, and do it again.
Step 1 is delete. In this stage, what you're going to do here is identify 80% which is causing you all the stress and is not making enough difference. Once you've identified it, you're then going to stop doing it.
Step 2, delegate. Are you wasting time doing something because you're the only person who can do it? Stop. You're not the only competent person in your organisation. Train someone else to do it and delegate.
Step 3, you're going to do it all over again. Whatever's left is really what makes a difference. But remember, the things that you're expected to do are constantly going to change, and that's why you need to keep using the 3 Ds to always be evolving what it is you're doing.
It's important to reflect on your own productivity. There will always be distractions that can cause you to become unproductive, so watch out for them. And keep following the 3 Ds to ensure you are always being productive.
If you understand and you value the 80-20 rule and the 3 Ds, and you want more information about time management, click on the link in the description box below to get our time management guide sent to you straight away.
Okay, so that's it for today's video on time management techniques. We hope this video has given you the tools you need to manage your time better and spend less time on those unproductive tasks.
If you've learned some good stuff on today's video, make sure you subscribe to our channel right now. Just click on the subscribe button below this video.
Also, if you want more tips to help you improve your leadership and communication skills, head over to curiouscommunicator.com and sign up to the newsletter. You'll receive exclusive tips and techniques that we do not share anywhere else.
And don't forget to get your copy of our time management guide sent directly to your email address. Just click on the link in the description box below. It's full of valuable advice and information, and it's all free.
So now it's your turn. Which of today's techniques have been most useful to you? Are you going to use the 80-20 principle to find more efficient ways of working? Or maybe you've really benefited from the 3 Ds method of improving your time management skills? Either way, let us know by leaving a comment below right now.